My name is Nitendra. I'm 14 years old and I'm presently studying in 10th standard. So today I would like to explain about the Crew Dragon. What is it and who made it? You see, the Crew Dragon is a space capsule. Actually, it is the capsule on top of the rocket that carries the payload. If you want to learn more about rockets, see our other video on rockets. But let's get back to the topic. It is the capsule on the tip of the rocket which carries the payload into space. The Crew Dragon is, as in the name, it's designed to carry people into space. Actually, you see, SpaceX designed it. SpaceX was founded by Elon Musk. He also founded Tesla as well. But you see, this SpaceX created the Dragon 1. They did it to dock to the International Space Station. You see, before the Dragon 1, there was the space shuttle, which could dock to the space station and send people. But after that, it was retired in 2011, and then the only way you could get people to the ISS was by using the Russian Soyuz space shuttle. Not the space shuttle, but the space satellite, the space vehicle. Now, Americans need to solve this problem, so they designed the Crew Dragon with the help of SpaceX. Now, what the Crew Dragon is, it is a small capsule, a capsule-like object. It has a trunk and the main pod. You see, the Crew Dragon had the first version, Dragon 1. It was mainly designed to carry the payload, and then there was the Dragon 2, which is the Crew Dragon, which they are using now. The Crew Dragon, and there is also another version of the Dragon 2 which is used to carry payload only. Both are similar, but you see this Crew Dragon, it is used to carry only people, and it can also be used to carry cargo. The Crew Dragon has a trunk at the bottom. It is fitted with solar panels on one side, so when it is in orbit around the Earth, it can point the solar panels towards the sun and get electricity from the solar panels. Then the Crew Dragon has to get into orbit, right? So we will focus on what components the Crew Dragon has, because before we begin to study more about the launch of Crew Dragon. So you see, the Crew Dragon, I already told you, it has solar panels. Next, it has the heat shield because it is a reusable re-entry vehicle. What I mean is, it can be launched and then it will re-enter into the Earth's atmosphere and will not burn up because of the heat shield, and it will be used again for many more missions. So the Crew Dragon has a heat shield to stop it burning up in the atmosphere, but the trunk, the part which I mentioned, which has the outer covering of solar panels, it doesn't have any heat shield because it is not reusable. Only the capsule at the top, the part which carries the people, is reusable. So this part has been fitted with a lot of touch displays because the older rockets, they would be fitted with a lot of buttons and the crew would just get overwhelmed. So there are 4 people in the Crew Dragon and they just have 3 touch screens. They kept it nice and simple, the SpaceX engineer guys. So, and next, the Crew Dragon also has thrusters, so it can adjust a little bit in orbit to get to the ISS, to dock to it and then come back again. It also has a few super thrusters, which what the super thrusters objective is, there is this rocket, right, and it's about to launch and there's something wrong, then it will get the crew to safety. That's what the super thrusters do. Now this is the capsule and this is the trunk. There's a little bit of space in the trunk to carry a bit of payload, and the capsule is designed to build is built to be designed to carry humans as payloads into orbit. And now we will study about the launch of Crew Dragon into space. We figured out about Crew Dragon. Now we have to find out how it is launched, right? Right. So the Crew Dragon is launched with the Falcon 9 rocket. It is a partially reusable rocket. Why am I saying partially reusable? Because the stage 1, that is the stage which propels the Crew Dragon up to a great height, is reusable. The stage 2 which powers the capsule is not reusable. You see, the Crew Dragon, the stage 1 has 9 Merlin 1D engines. That's why it got its name, the Falcon 9. Got it? So the Falcon 9 rocket is going to be launched into space, and then after the stage 1 is done, it is just released and it glides back into the Earth's atmosphere and falls down on the Earth's surface. Now when it falls down, it actually has 3 engines which have a little bit of fuel left, and they will start the burning, and they will start burning, combusting, to basically slow down in the atmosphere and not cause burn up. And when it reaches close to the ground, what it will do is, it still has a little bit of fuel in one engine and it will completely expend all that fuel, so that the Falcon 1 stage 1 lands properly and does not just ram into it. Now the Falcon on stage 1 also has landing legs, so it eases down onto the launch pad and just doesn't do a sort of ramming into it. You can tell when the stage 1 is being used over and over again because it will not look as new. Now let's get back to the topic. The astronauts, they will wear the space suits by SpaceX, and then they will be driven to the spaceship or the rocket via Tesla, because Elon Musk founded Tesla and SpaceX, as I told you in the video earlier before. Now it is only fitting that these astronauts get a tribute as a Tesla ride to their space shuttle or spaceship or rocket, whatever you want to call it. Now these astronauts are sitting in the Crew Dragon, right? It will be launched as I told you, and then when it enters into orbit around the Earth, it will use some of its thrusters. And when it uses its thrusters, it aligns itself into orbit with the ISS. It will try to catch up with the ISS. And now you might be thinking, it is in orbit with the ISS. This sounds good and all, but how is it going to connect? Well, the space shuttles, they would have three ports to connect to, but this new Crew Dragon only has two because they installed new technologies on those two ports, and the second port is easier to access for the Crew Dragon. Now, when the Crew Dragon is parallel with the ISS going like this, they both go in the same direction. Okay, they both go like this. So when it is directly 400 meters below the ISS, it does a check, and then it boosts and goes 220 meters in front of the ISS, and then it has a special mechanism which, when they are going against each other, they will slowly come together and the mechanism will lock in place, and they will open the airlock, and you know what happens, the ISS will be pressurized and so will the Crew Dragon, and next the astronauts will finally get to see the astronauts in the ISS. So the Crew Dragon will just fall into the Earth's atmosphere and it will be used for another mission. So you see these new videos of SpaceX experimenting, right? That's what this hype is all about. So I hope you understood what the Crew Dragon is and why it is used. So, to fulfill our curiosity to study about more about space, because since the dawn of mankind we have been exploring other places. We have figured out the continents of our Earth. Now we want to figure out more about our planets in the solar system. So we have created the ISS, and we need to get certain materials from our Earth to the ISS, and that's why these vehicles are used. These rockets are made, and the rockets also sometimes carry satellites. But today we are just focusing on the Crew Dragon. So hope you like this video and hope you understood a lot about the Crew Dragon. Thank you guys.